My name is Ann Murphy, and I am a member of High Rock Online, and I've been attending High Rock for a little over a year.
I'm Peter Murphy, and I'm also part of High Rock Online.
Peter and I are a brother and sister. I'm the elder. I have 7 years on Peter, and he was born in October when I was in the second grade, and I thought God made him for me. And so there was no problem at all. When either of my sisters did not want to take him for a ride in the stroller, I was out there. When my mother threw his panda bear away, I was dragging it out of the trash.
It really is true that Anne was sort of like a shield between me and the rest of the world. When it came time for me to go to high school, it was a significant financial burden on the family. And it was about the time that Anne was heading into the convent. And so she had cash that was, let's say it didn't fit with her vow of poverty. So she paid for my first year in high school, which was significant in many, many ways in how life turned out later. In 1983, I had a spiritual awakening that led me along a different path than where my family had been. And it was really, really hard on my family. I think for Anne, it felt like rejection. It was painful. No matter what kind of a word you put on it, it was a painful, hard time.
What Peter did meant that he left our tradition. And we grew up believing that our tradition was the only path to God. And it was a while before we were together again as brother and sister. I mean, we saw each other and we were cordial, and I still loved you, but I felt like there was a barrier. About a year and a half ago, I was driving up Route 2, and I was half singing, half praying, but mostly having a conversation with God about being forgiven for different things in my life. And it became very, very intense, and I was crying while I was driving, crying loudly, and praying. I was struck by a tremendous sense of peace. That I knew that God had listened and answered my prayers. I can't explain the joy and wonder that I experienced. And I called you and said, something has happened. I think I've been reborn. I didn't know where I said, I think I've been reborn. And you said, say that again. Tell me what you're talking about. I was born Roman Catholic, and it will always be part of my life. But this is where I'm living out my spirituality. And I want to continue to grow in my theology. I want to begin to experience new ways of understanding the life of Christ, Scripture. When Peter was small, I looked out for him. We've grown up, and he's not my baby anymore. In fact, he's been more of a teacher. And how he's done that has been through praying together, through sharing reading, suggested that I start writing. And it's just helped me and brought me closer to where I want to be with Christ. So my hope is to move forward and expand my relationships.
That sounds